This is KI0AR. Does anyone need to use the repeater systems before I begin this evening's Colorado Astronomy Net? Please go ahead now. Calling the Colorado Astronomy Net, calling the Colorado Astronomy Net. This is KI0AR. My name is Furnace, and I'll be your net control for this evening's Colorado Astronomy Net. Just a reminder, the 3-minute timeout function is still in effect, so during long transmissions, please allow the repeater systems to reset themselves. Also, please use the word break for emergency or priority traffic. If there is any emergency or priority traffic, please go ahead now. Dave, I caught some of that, but not all of it. Yeah, I got you if you want. Yeah, I corrected the what Ed sent earlier, and I posted that on the internet, so I've got those changes taken care of. Okay, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I take check-ins several ways. I take them via NetLogger. So if you have NetLogger, just log into NetLogger, and I'll look for the Colorado Astronomy Net, and I'll see your name pop up in the AIM window, and I'll get you logged in right away. I take them over the air, of course. I will take them via email. You can send emails to ki0ar@ki0ar.com. And in that email, just post your first name and your location. And if you have a call sign, that would be great as well. I also am on YouTube this evening. So good evening to those that are listening on YouTube. And I will see you pop up there. Just drop a note in the chat, and I will get you logged in as well. And we do have some updates to the rocket report, so stand by for that, but that will be in about another hour or so. A couple of launches launched just successfully just now. So there are links in the rocket report, and I do publish the rocket report on my website, so you can check that out. Right now, I'm going to acknowledge 2 check-ins via NetLogger. Actually, and I'll get let's see. And I know Ed's out there as well, and we got, all right, so just a sec. Okay, there are those that have logged in via NetLogger or other means right now. I got Roy, KI7PKL, thanks for checking in tonight. Dave, AF0AS, thanks for checking in tonight. Ed, W6RDZ, thanks for checking in tonight. And Rip, K3XO, thanks for checking in tonight. We also got Michael over on YouTube checking in. So thanks for that. We got Doug, K08, now that's Michael, KO5AOK. Thanks for checking in tonight. Doug, K0ATP, thanks for checking in tonight. And Dave, WE8M, thanks for checking in tonight. Let's see. All right, no problems there, Michael. I see you can't transmit. So if you have any questions, definitely post them on the YouTube site there. All right, I'll go ahead and begin taking check-ins over the air. Anyone wishing to check in to tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
Whiskey 2, Juliet, Lima, Sierra, John, W2, JLS in Fairlawn, Ohio. Good evening, Bruce. Mike 1, Delta Echo Alpha. Mike 1, Delta Echo Alpha. Good morning, members.
Okay, let's pause there. Let's see, John, W2JLS, thanks for checking in tonight. Graham, great to hear you from Scotland there. Good morning to you. MM1DEA, thanks for checking in tonight. There's another call. I don't know whether it was a double or not, but I have Whiskey 0 Mike Oscar Sierra. At least that's what it sounded like. If that station could come back to me and confirm that, I would appreciate it.
That's correct.
Okay, Christopher up in, Commerce City, W0MOS, thanks for checking in tonight. That's a new call on the list, so welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. A bit rough copy on you tonight. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I may switch over to the analog. But my name is Bernice. That's Bravo, Uniform, Romeo, November, Echo, Sierra, Sierra, and the call sign Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. Quick history on the Astronomy Net. Been doing the Colorado Astronomy Net for almost 30 years. This is a learning net, so I do appreciate you hopping on there. We have all levels of experience. And the way this is working, I'm obviously taking some check-ins, got some announcements, got the local astronomical news, got some bulletins, and a rocket report. And then I like to go down the list and talk with all the check-ins. Question, answer, observation reports, especially with the Perseus meteor shower going on now. See if anybody has seen any of those in the last several days. First, I'd like to touch base with you, Christopher, and find out a little bit more about your interest, background in astronomy is, whether you're just starting out or you've been doing it for decades like I have, or somewhere in between. So W0MOS, Christopher, again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Tell us a little bit about your background and interest in astronomy. Go ahead. All right, Christopher, appreciate your comments and appreciate you checking in tonight. Hopefully you can stick around. And again, Welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Got a lot of good information to pass along to everybody tonight. All right, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Just a sec. Yeah, excuse me there. I'll look for check-ins a little bit later on, but I'll go ahead and get the net rolling. Announcements. I publish a monthly astronomy newsletter via email and the World Wide Web. If you wish to subscribe to the email version of my newsletter, please send me an email to ki0ar@ki0ar.com and request to be put on the list. Or you may visit the website at www.ki0ar.com/astro.html. And at the top of the web page is also a spot where you may submit your email address and get subscribed to the email version of the newsletter as well. If you don't want to remember all that, just Google my call sign, KI0AR. You'll find a whole bunch of links, including links to the web page and the newsletter. And as I said before, we are on YouTube, and those links are posted on in the intro to that site as well. I also volunteer with a youth group called the International Association for Astronomical Studies, a youth group that meets out in Strasburg, Colorado on Friday evenings from 6 until 8 p.m. Always looking for new members, freshmen through senior high school age students interested in astronomy, amateur radio, high-power rocketry, remote control aircraft flying, full-scale aircraft construction, archaeoastronomy, radio astronomy, and balloon launch communications. More than welcome to visit our website at www.iaas.org for more information. Also, check us out on Facebook under the same name, the International Association for Astronomical Studies. Also, the IAAS has a club call sign, K0AAS. So if you happen to hear us out on the radio, definitely say hi. Find out more information that way as well. And definitely you can try calling us as well on Friday evenings between 6 until 8. We usually monitor the Skyhub Link connection out there, so check that out. Also a reminder that the Colorado Astronomy Net also has a Facebook page. So if you have Facebook, be sure to hop on there and like us both. And those of you who have YouTube, definitely subscribe to the Colorado Astronomy Net. On Mondays and Wednesday nights, Jack, KE0VH, posts his twice weekly flight sims on YouTube. So if you're interested in flight simulations, you may want to check out his YouTube channel, Captain Jack Flight Sim. That's CAPNJACKFLTSIM. And that's Mondays and Wednesdays from 6:30 until whenever he lands. And it's a nice little chat on the flight simming, and he'll take questions, and he plays some music on there during the flight. I can't play any music on here. I wish I could, but I can't. So it would be interesting. I'd play a little space music in the background, but let's see. But definitely check out his site there. And let's see, Andrew, we got you on the list. KF0 UFO, thanks for checking in tonight. Let's see, quick pause for anyone else wishing to check in tonight. Please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
This is Kilo 5 Romeo Uniform November. Kilo 5 Romeo Uniform November, San Frisco, Texas.
All right, Phil, we got you on the list. K5RUN. Thanks for checking in tonight. And there was a whole bunch of static on the last check-in, so I didn't copy anything on that. Brian, we got you on the list. K6SKI. Thanks for checking in tonight. I'll go ahead and take check-ins a little bit later on. If I haven't called your name, you can still check in. You can still check in via NetLogger or on YouTube, or again, send me an email to ki0ar@ki0ar.com. I'll monitor that as well to see if there's anybody checking in that way. All right, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'm going to go ahead and get into the local astronomical news for this almost middle of August. Start off as usual with the phases of the moon. We had a first quarter moon back on the 1st. A full moon occurred on the 9th. We've got a last quarter moon coming up on the 16th. We've got a new moon coming up on the 23rd. And then we have another first quarter moon coming up on the 31st. The moon was, let's see, will be at perigee, its closest approach to the Earth this month. On the 14th, it will be 229,465 miles from Earth. The moon will be at apogee, its farthest point away from the Earth this month. On the 29th, it will be 251,374 miles from Earth. Planetary highlights for August. The longer nights of August beckon with several treats this month. Saturn and Neptune undergo their second conjunction of the year, appearing together in a low-power telescope eyepiece. Telescopic observers also get 2 shadow transits of Titan across Saturn. Early risers enjoy a spectacular conjunction of the 2 brightest planets in the sky, Venus and Jupiter, on August 12th. That was actually this morning. Same day, the Perseid meteor shower peaks. Excerpt is from Astronomy Magazine, August 2025, page 28. And on with the planets. Mercury was stationary back on the 10th, neither appearing to move forward nor backward relative to the background stars. Mercury will be at its greatest western elongation, about 19 degrees west of the Sun on the 19th. That will actually mean that it's leading the Sun in the early morning hours towards the east. Mercury is rising about 4:55 a.m. this week. I'll look for Mercury visible about 30 minutes before sunrise just above the eastern horizon after the first week of the month. So now's the time to get out there and see if you can spot Mercury. And like I said, it will be as high as it's going to get in just another 5 days there. No, 7 days, another week. So keep an eye for that. Mercury moves from the constellation of Cancer into Leo, shining at magnitude 0.7 on the 15th. A quick tutorial on magnitudes. The magnitude scale is an inverse logarithmic scale, meaning as the magnitudes increase, the apparent brightness of an object decreases by a factor of about 2.5. So the greater the magnitude, the dimmer the object, and vice versa. The lower the magnitude, the brighter the object by a factor of 2.5. The dimmest that the human eye can see under optimal conditions is about magnitude 6. Any magnitudes greater than 6, you'll need binoculars or a telescope to see them. A magnitude 7 object is 2.5 times dimmer than a magnitude 6 object, while a magnitude 5 object is 2.5 times brighter. But anytime any of these objects that I'm talking about, basically the planets here, definitely point a telescope or binoculars towards so you can see much more detail. You can definitely see them with the naked eye, but definitely put a scope on them as well to pull out all the intricacies of what you see. Venus is rising about 3:15 a.m. this week. Look for Venus to the southeast about an hour before sunrise. Venus moves from the constellation of Gemini into Cancer, shining at magnitude -3.9 on the 15th. Then we got Mars. Mars is setting about 9:45 p.m. This week. Look for Mars to the west in the evening. Mars is in the constellation of Virgo, shining at magnitude 1.6. And then we have Jupiter. Jupiter rising at about 3:15, maybe a few minutes before, 3:15 a.m. this week. Look for Jupiter to the southeast before, about an hour or so before sunrise. Jupiter is in the constellation of Gemini, shining at magnitude -1.9. And then we have Saturn. I'll let this thing reset and then tell you about Saturn. All right, Saturn is, Saturn is rising about 9:45 p.m. This week. Saturn can be spotted low to the east in the late evening. Saturn is in the constellation of Pisces, shining at magnitude 0.7. It gives Saturn about an hour or so to get above that eastern horizon in the late evening. So when you take a look at that through binoculars or a telescope. We got Uranus rising about 12:15 a.m. this week. Look for Uranus to the south before sunrise. Uranus is in the constellation of Taurus, shining at magnitude 5.7. And then we have Neptune. Neptune is rising about 9:39 p.m. This week. So it's just a few minutes ahead of Saturn and just almost directly overhead. Look for Neptune low to the east late in the evening, leading Saturn by just a few minutes all month. Neptune is in the constellation of Pisces, shining at magnitude 7.7. So Saturn and Neptune is over 110, 120 times dimmer than Saturn. But if you find Saturn with binoculars, just raise your binoculars up just about 2 full moon widths, and you'll see a little bluish, little greenish, bluish dot, maybe with a little bit of green in there. That will be Neptune. And then once you find Neptune, definitely put a scope on it for sure. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Continuing, we got dwarf planets. We got Ceres. Ceres will be stationary on the 15th, neither appearing to move forward nor backward to the relative to the background sky. Ceres is rising about 11:15 p.m. this week. Ceres can be spotted low to the south after midnight. Ceres is in the constellation of Cetus, shining at magnitude 8.4. And let these objects that are rising around midnight or a little bit before get up. It takes 3 or 4 hours until, nice dark skies, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Look for them towards the southeast, southern direction when they're higher in the sky. We got Pluto. Pluto is rising about 7:15 p.m. in the evening. The best time to spot Pluto is around midnight when it is highest in the sky to the south. Pluto is in the constellation of Capricorn, shining at magnitude 15.1. And guaranteed you will not see Pluto right now. You have to contend with a waning gibbous moon in the evening sky. So that will definitely drown out that particular object. As always, good luck at spotting Neptune, Ceres, and Pluto. A large telescope and dark skies will be needed. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net continuing. We got meteor showers. The northern Delta Aquarids meteor shower extends from July 16th through September 10th. Maximum occurs tomorrow morning, August 13th. The hourly rate reaches a high of about 10. We got the Perseids meteor shower is generally visible between July 23rd and August 22nd. Maximum occurs during August 12th, 13th. So we're right in the middle of the peak of the Perseids this morning, maybe tomorrow morning as well. The hourly rates typically reach 80, although some years have been as low as 4 and as high as 200. The meteors tend to be very fast, possess an average magnitude of 2.3, and leave persistent trains. A full moon, August 9th, significantly affects the visibility of Perseid meteors. By August 12th, the night of the Perseids peak, the moon rises about 10 p.m. local daylight time and remains up the rest of the night, just as the shower's radiant in Perseus is climbing higher in the sky. Actually, tonight, the moon is rising about 9:45 p.m., so it's going to be up all night. But all is not lost. The Perseid meteor shower carries some of the brightest meteors, which are always visible, even with moonlight. You can improve the visibility of fainter meteors by traveling to higher altitudes above 5,000 feet, where a thinner atmosphere reduces the scattered light of the moon, rendering the sky darker. Even so, observed rates this year will be well below the advertised peak. Set your expectations at 12 per hour. For those of us who are in Denver, we've got a lot of scattered light due to the smoke that's in our atmosphere over there, even though we're sitting at a mile high. Well above the 5,000 foot mark there, but with all the light pollution and the scattered light due to the smoke, I'm not expecting to see too much. The Perseids are active from July 17th through August 24th. The earlier part of the shower occurs under a dark moon. On August 1st, for example, the first quarter moon sets around midnight. The radiant reaches a respectable 50 degrees in altitude by 4 a.m. local daylight time. The moonless sky is diminished by nearly an hour each day. So it's going to be tougher and tougher to see some of these Perseids, even though we do have a waning gibbous moon. So not as much moonlight, but it's still washing it out. We're talking 88%. Down to about 80 and 69% in the following mornings, and we got last quarter moon on the 15th at about 58% coverage. So still bright. The Perseids are associated with Comet 109P Swift-Tuttle, which last reached perihelion in 1992 and returns again in a century. Excerpt is from Astronomy Magazine, August 2025, page 29, and that's without the ad-libs. The Perseids is one of the best meteors to see during the year, so if you can get out and just try to see some of them for sure. You might even see some of them in the early evening as well. Take a stroll under clear skies if you've got them, and just look up or throw a blanket in the backyard and look up. You don't need any special equipment to spot the Perseids, but definitely try to at least put your back towards the full moon or any other bright lights up there, and let your eyes get accustomed to the night darkness. Turn off all those back porch lights, things like that. So get out there and see what you can see. I'd love to hear some observation reports as well. Comets. We do have one comet, Comet C 2024 E1 Werscholz, is passing through the constellation of Hercules this month, shining around 12th magnitude, so a 10-inch scope or greater, and dark skies will be needed to view it. However, estimates on its brightness over the next several months, it may get up to about 4th magnitude by January, so it will be a visible comet by then. So we'll look forward to seeing what that comet does for sure. And that's it for the local astronomical news. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'll go ahead and pause here to see if there are any more check-ins for tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net. If you're listening over on YouTube, just say hey in the chat, and I'll get you logged in, especially if you have a call sign. But right now, I'll take them over the air. I don't see anybody else over on NetLogger. So anybody else wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice. Okay, I know there was somebody trying to check in. Again, very super scratchy, super noisy on the call, so I was not able to copy it, and it did not pop up on my dashboard here either. So, but I do got you, Roy. KI0ER, thanks for checking in tonight. Other station, I don't know if you can try again. Or if you have access to NetLogger, I'll get you in. Or if you have access to email, send me an email to ki0ar@ki0ar.com. Or if you're on YouTube, I'll get you in, checked in that way. And I do see Steve over on YouTube, so hi Steve. Thanks for checking in tonight. If you got a call sign, Steve, if you post that, I'll get you logged in. If not, that's fine too. Definitely like to hear you out there listening. All right, yeah, Doug, I see you. There you go. Appreciate you listening there. You're already checked in. All right, don't see anything over in the email. So other stations that I have not acknowledged, if you want to try again, I don't know whether what's going on. I even tried switching over to analog while you were transmitting and I didn't get anything. Try again, please, sir. Okay, no joy on that one either. I think I caught an alpha in there, but that was about it. Again, welcome to the net. Again, my name is Bernice. That's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra. Email address ki0ar@ki0ar.com. Just send me a note there. Again, and that might be easiest for right now, or try the other ways as well. I do see Dennis over on YouTube, KC0CJV. Dennis, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Check out skyhublink.com if you can check in. If you can check in over the air. I do like to talk to all the new. That's a new call, so welcome there, Dennis. Dennis, if you could quickly type in what your interest background is in astronomy. I'll pass that along to everybody else. Dennis, again, my name is Bernice. That's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra, and the call sign Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. Welcome to the net. Dennis, if you can post a little bit about your interest background in astronomy over there on YouTube, or call us. We'd love to hear you over the air. Go ahead. All right. I know there's a station out there. I do appreciate you listening. And I'll take check-ins anytime you can get to a computer or what have you later on. No worries there. I'll even take them tomorrow if you send out an email and say you were listening. That's fine too. All right. Going to go ahead and get into the bulletins for this evening. I always like to start off with ISS passes over the Denver area. Oh, there's something, let's see, there's a decent pass. It's not until like actually next week on the 20th and 21st. The ISS has returned to the morning sky. Actually, there's not a bad pass coming up on the morning of the 18th at 5:24 a.m. The ISS travels from the southwest to the east-northeast, peaking about 56 degrees above the southeast horizon. Information on ISS passes is at www.heavens-above.com. That's www.heavens-above.com. One thing I like about this particular website is that I can see when the passes are, and then if I click on, I'm showing that up in on YouTube right now. So you can click on a particular link. I'll click on this one that's coming up on the morning of the 18th. And it shows a nice star chart of the path that the ISS will take through the skies early in the morning. You can see which constellations it's passing through and where to look for it. That's one thing I like about this particular site. what I do suggest you do is sign up for it, put in your home coordinates, and then you can find out. It's got a whole lot more information than just uh, just ISS passes. And it's got all kinds of interesting data. It's plus links to various apps as well. So you can check that website out, www.heavens-above.com, for more information. Okay, tonight's bulletin from Jet Propulsion Laboratory, dated August 7th. Let's see, before I get started, Dennis, thanks for the note. Not much knowledge, just wanting to learn. And that's what we're all here about. I've been doing the net for 30 years, almost 30 years, and I learned something new every time myself. So again, welcome to the net. Check out skyhublink.com, and you may be able to check in via Echolink or Allstar if you've got those as well. So KC0CJV, thanks for checking in tonight, and welcome. Here we go for the bulletin. NASA's Webb finds new evidence for planet around closest solar twin. Found using the MIRI instrument on NASA's Webb telescope, which was managed by JPL through launch, the possible planet would be easier to study than more far-flung worlds. Astronomers using NASA's James Webb Space Telescope have found strong evidence of a giant planet orbiting a star in the stellar system closest to our own sun. At just 4 light years away from Earth, the Alpha Centauri triple star system has long been a compelling target in the search for worlds beyond our solar system. Visible only from Earth's southern hemisphere, it's made up of the binary Alpha Centauri A and Alpha Centauri B, both sun-like stars, and the faint red dwarf star Proxima Centauri. Alpha Centauri A is the third brightest star in the night sky. While there are 3 confirmed planets orbiting Proxima Centauri, the presence of other worlds surrounding Alpha Centauri A and Alpha Centauri B has proved challenging to confirm. Now Webb's observations from its mid-infrared instrument, or MIRI, are providing the strongest evidence to date of a gas giant orbiting Alpha Centauri A. The results have been accepted in a series of 2 papers in the Astrophysical Journal Letters. If confirmed, the planet would be the closest to Earth that orbits in the habitable zone. If confirmed, the planet would be the closest to Earth that orbits in the habitable zone of a star-like star, or excuse me, a sun-like star. However, because the planet candidate is a gas giant, scientists say it would not support life as we know it. With this system being so close to us, any exoplanets found would offer our best opportunity to collect data on planetary systems other than our own. Yet, these are incredibly challenging observations to make, even with the world's most powerful space telescope, because these stars are so bright, close, and move across the sky quickly, said Charles Beichman, NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory and the NASA Exoplanet Science Institute at Caltech's IPAC Astronomy Center, co-first author on the new papers. Webb was designed and optimized to find the most distant galaxies in the universe. The operations team at the Space Telescope Science Institute had to come up with a custom observing sequence just for this target, and their extra effort paid off spectacularly. Several rounds of meticulously planned observations by Webb, careful analysis by the research team, and extensive computer modeling helped determine that the source seen in Webb's image is likely to be a planet and not a background object like a galaxy, foreground object, a passing asteroid, or other detector or image artifact. The first observations of the system took place in August 2024, using the coronagraphic mask aboard Miri to block Alpha Centauri A's light, while extra brightness from the nearby companion star Alpha Centauri B complicated the analysis. The team was able to subtract out the light from both stars to reveal an object over 10,000 times fainter than Alpha Centauri A, separated from the star by about 2 times the distance between the Sun and Earth. While the initial detection was exciting, the research team needed more data to come to a firm conclusion. However, additional observations of the system in February 2025 and April 2025, using director's discretionary time, did not reveal any objects like the one identified in August 2024. We are faced with the case of a disappearing planet. To investigate this mystery, we use computer models to simulate millions of potential orbits, incorporating the knowledge gained when we saw the planet, as well as when we did not, said PhD student Aniket Sanghi of Caltech in Pasadena, California. Sanghi is a co-first author on the 2 papers covering the team's research. In these simulations, the team took into account both a 2019 sighting of the potential exoplanet candidate by the European Southern Observatory's Very Large Telescope, the new data from Webb, and considered orbits that would be gravitationally stable in the presence of Alpha Centauri B, meaning the planet wouldn't get flung out of the system. Researchers say a non-detection in the second and third round of observations with Webb isn't surprising. We found that in half of the possible orbits simulated, the planet moved too close to the star and wouldn't have been visible to Webb in both February and April 2025, said Sanghi. Based on the brightness of the planet in the mid-infrared observations and the orbit simulations, researchers say it could be a gas giant approximately the mass of Saturn orbiting Alpha Centauri A, in an elliptical path varying between 1 to 2 times the distance between the Sun and Earth. If confirmed, the potential planet seen in the Webb image of Alpha Centauri A would mark a new milestone for exoplanet imaging efforts, Sanghi says. Of all the directly imaged planets, this would be the closest to its star seen so far. It's also the most similar in temperature and age to the giant planets in our solar system, and nearest to our home Earth, he says. Its very existence in a system of 2 closely separated stars would challenge our understanding of how planets form, survive, and evolve in chaotic environments. If confirmed by additional observations, the team's results could transform the future of exoplanet science. This would become a touchstone object for exoplanet science with multiple opportunities for detailed characterization by Webb and other observatories, said Beichmann. For example, NASA's Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope, set to launch it by May 2027 and potentially as early as fall 2026, is equipped with dedicated hardware that will test new technologies to observe binary systems like Alpha Centauri in search of other worlds. Roman's visible light data would complement Webb's infrared observations, yielding unique insights on the size and reflectivity of the planet. More about Webb and MIRI. The James Webb Space Telescope is the world's premier space science observatory. Webb is solving mysteries in our solar system, looking beyond to distant worlds around other stars and probing the mysterious structures and origins of our universe and our place in it. Webb is an international program led by NASA and its partners, ESA, the European Space Agency, and CSA, the Canadian Space Agency. Webb's MIRI was developed through a 50-50 partnership between NASA and ESA, a division of Caltech in Pasadena, California. JPL led the U.S. contribution to MIRI. JPL also led development of MIRI's cryocooler, done in collaboration with Northrop Grumman in Redondo Beach, California, and NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center in Greenbelt, Maryland. To learn more about Webb, visit https://science.nasa.gov/web. And that's it for that bulletin for this evening. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. All right, Ed has not checked in. Hopefully he's out there listening. I know he's working tonight. But I'll go ahead and call on Dave and see if, Dave, AF0AS, good evening to you, Dave. Would you like to give the rocket report this evening?
Probably do that, Bernard. They really asking me 1 second to pull it up. Copy it and open it. Here we go.
All right, Dave, do appreciate it. Give my voice a little bit of a rest. AF0AS, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Please go ahead with the rocket report for this evening.
China rocket successfully launched on Friday, August 8th at 10:31 Mountain Daylight Time. A Smart Dragon K-Long 3 rocket from China's coastal waters. Launch originally scheduled for last Thursday and then delayed again because of weather. Thursday's launch was delayed because of rocket. Finally, yesterday, Monday, August 11th, a Falcon 9 launched from Slickport, Cape Canaveral at 06:30 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time, carrying Project Kuiper's KLO-2, the second launch for Amazon Internet low Earth orbit satellite constellation. 24 satellites are headed to orbit in a nice, beautiful blue sky launch. This was a sort of interesting launch in that this was booster P-1091's first flight. Booster 1091 is a Falcon Heavy core, not a regular Falcon. So it has a white interstage and some other modifications to make it able to be coupled to two side rockets. So this is running a single stick Falcon 9 configuration. It'll remain in that config for a couple more launches, and then it will be reconfigured for a Falcon Heavy Light to be determined in the future. Yesterday's launch was SpaceX's 100th mission of 2025 and the 175th orbital worldwide launch attempt. Then, about 30 minutes ago, successfully launched a MEDOP. Hold on, this one here. Actually, about 30 minutes ago, United Launch Alliance successfully launched a Vulcan Centaur from Sling 41 at Cape Canaveral. This is the third orbital launch for ULA's new Vulcan rocket, and it was their first United States Space Force launch, which allows them to be qualified for future government launching. So this is USSF Mission 106. The launch looked beautiful. I watched it just as the net was starting. Now we don't hear any more about it. They stopped coverage as soon as they had stage separation, as is typical in governmental launches. The second launch was Ariane launched a MEDOP Ariane 62 rocket from Guiana Space Center in French Guiana. This is a single payload meteorological satellite going to a sun-synchronous orbit. Are 9 upcoming launches because there was supposed to be another Starlink launch, but it was pushed off till tomorrow. So the first one will be tomorrow at 20:05. SpaceX is getting Starlink launch from Vandenberg, rescheduled for who knows what reasons. Following that, CASC intends to launch another batch of SatNet satellites to LEO on a long march 5B AP-SLO-2 rocket from Wenchang Space Launch Site on Thursday the 14th at 0047 Mountain Daylight Time. So if you're going to use sampling, you get up really early to catch that one. Also on Thursday, there should be a second SpaceX launch for the week. Starlink Group 10-20 on a Falcon from space. Cape Canaveral Space Force Base in Florida. Following that, China's land space just scheduled a Q2E rocket launch from Dwequin Satellite Launch Center in China, also on Thursday at 19:15 Mountain Daylight Time, and it's an unknown payload, so we'll find out hopefully some more about that by next week. Next week, SpaceX is scheduled to launch another Starlink from Vandenberg. That'll be their second Vandenberg launch in a week, if that works out. At 09:44 Friday morning. Following that, China just scheduled a launch of a Kinetica rocket on Saturday, the 16th, at 01:35 MDT from Dwequin Satellite Launch Center, another unknown payload. The 7th launch of the week coming up on Saturday, August 16th at 05:30, just a couple hours after the Chinese launch. SpaceX hopes to launch a Starlink Group 10-11 from Cape Canaveral, Florida. I assume that's the 39. 8th launch coming up in the next week. China's CASC just booked the Long March 6A launch out of Taiwan Satellite Launch Center for Sunday for another undisclosed payload at 08:15 MDT. And finally, next week in the morning before the net, on Tuesday, August 19th, SpaceX is scheduled to launch yet another Starlink from Vandenberg. That's going to push them to 3 launches from Vandenberg a week if they can pull that off at 09:44 Mountain Daylight Time. That will be 9 launches on the docket for next week. And now for the news of the week. this was cruising. Came home a little early, we make the logistics on the space station work right, make splashdown off the California coast. 10,000 space news reports that a Crew Dragon spacecraft returned 4 crew members from the International Space Station on August 9th, as NASA tried to figure out how long the crew, 11, will stay on the station. The Crew Dragon spacecraft returned splashdown off the coast of San Diego at 11:33 a.m. Eastern Time. Okay, so that would be 7:30 a.m. California Pacific Time. And then undocked from the station at 6:50 Eastern Time on August 8th. Splashdown appeared to be normal, although NASA did. The capsule with the tracking camera decided it was going to track the Trojans instead of the capsule. An audio issue garbled some transmissions, and there was also a report that they did have a failed water pump. Splashdown included the crew transmission. Returning NASA astronauts Anna McLean and Nicole Ayers, Japanese Space Agency Jackson astronaut Takayu Onishi, and Roscosmos cosmonaut Kirill Peskov. They had gone up to the ISS on March 14th. So the only reported issue was one of 2 ballasting pumps at splashdown. Other pump work, so it did not affect operations. This does mark the first NASA crew splashdown off of California, although SpaceX has landed 2 private astronaut missions earlier this year. Earlier last year, NASA and SpaceX agreed to move the splashdowns from Florida to enable safety orbiting of Dragon's truck section after the debris from several trucks survived entry and re-entered and land instead of splashing down in the water wheel that eventually disappeared from the waves. And now for the sad news for the week, the big news. On August 8th, NASA astronaut and national hero Captain James A. Jim McDowell Jr., Jim Donald Jr., best known for commanding the heroic Apollo 13 mission, has died at the ripe old age of 97. Lovell passed away on August 7th at his home in Lake Forest, Illinois. NASA announced Lovell's passing with a heartfelt tribute, hailing Lovell as a pillar of American space history whose bravery, ingenuity, and optimism helped define the golden age of space exploration. Quote, NASA sends its condolences to the family of Captain Jim Lovell, whose life and work inspired millions of people across the decades. Jim's character and steadfast courage helped our nation reach the moon and turned a potential tragedy into a success from which we learned an enormous amount. More his passing, even as we celebrate his achievements. End quote, NASA statement. Born on March 15, 1928 in Cleveland, Ohio, Jim Lovell graduated from the U.S. Naval Academy in 1952 and went on to serve as a Navy test pilot before being selected as part of the group of astronauts in 1962, a so-called New Nine group. Lovell's space flight career spanned the formative years of human space exploration over the course of 4 space missions: Gemini 7, Gemini 12, Apollo 8, and Apollo 13. He spent over 715 hours in space and became one of NASA's most experienced astronauts. He remains one of only 3 people to fly to the moon twice, and the only one who flew there twice and never touched foot on it. His latest was Apollo 13, where a tragedy was heard during the ill-fated Apollo 13 mission on April 1970, when Lovell earned his place in history, not for landing on the moon, but for safely bringing his crew home after a catastrophic onboard explosion. As commander, Lovell's calm, decisive leadership under pressure was vital in turning what could have been a national tragedy into a triumphant demonstration of ingenuity, teamwork, and predominantly human spirit. The mission survivor was later dramatized in the Oscar-winning 1995 film Apollo 13, in which Tom Hanks portrayed Hubble. For Apollo 13, Hubble made history as part of the Apollo 8 crew, first humans to travel to the moon. On Christmas Eve 1968, Hubble, Frank Borman, and Bill Anders became the first people to orbit the moon and return to Earth, capturing the famous Earthrise photo that reshaped humanity's perspective of our fragile world. Early Gemini missions also laid crucial groundwork for the Apollo program. On Gemini 7 in 1965, Hubble participated in the first rendezvous between two spacecraft, and in Gemini 12, he flew with Buzz Aldrin on the final mission of the Gemini program, successfully demonstrating extravehicular activity techniques crucial for lunar exploration. Known among his peers as Smiling Jim for his sharp wit and easygoing demeanor, Hubble was admired not only for his technical prowess, but also for his unwavering optimism and approachability. Behind the steely calm of a test pilot and astronaut was a man of warmth and humility. Known for his wit, this unforgivable astronaut was known as Smiling Jim by his fellow astronauts because he was quick with a grin whenever he had a particularly funny comeback. Following his NASA career, Hubble continued to serve the public as a speaker and advocate for science and space education. His memoir, Lost Moon, co-written with Jeffrey Kluger, remains one of the most compelling accounts of the Apollo program and served as the basis for Apollo 13. Hubble's legacy is etched not just in the annals of space history, but also in the lives of those he inspired. His journey from Navy pilot to NASA legend exemplifies the best of America's determination and ingenuity. Quote, Jim Hubble embodied the bold resolve and optimism of both past and future explorers, and we will remember him always. Quote from NASA. Survived by his 4 children and a legacy that touched millions around the world. In recent years, he remained active in the space community and continued to make public appearances, always eager to share stories of his mission and the future he saw for humanity beyond Earth. As the world mourns the loss of a giant, Jim Hubble's spirit, one of courage, curiosity, and quiet leadership, will continue to guide generations of explorers as we return to the moon and set our sights on Mars. In his own words, quote, there are people who make things happen, there are people who watch things happen, and there are people who wonder what just happened. To be successful, to be the person who makes things happen. Rest in peace, Smiling Jim. In Starbase news, Ship 37 rolled back from the assembly building to the launch site after it had a Raptor vacuum swap. It was mounted on the launch site late yesterday. Everything was hooked up this afternoon. They closed the highway and the beach, ran up the tank farm, started fueling it, appeared to have a leak in one of the QD hopes. Shortly thereafter, they vented down the oil lab, detained the rocket, and opened the road. That is the current state. It's still on the launch mount. We don't know if it's going to make another attempt at a spin prime or a static fire, maybe tonight or tomorrow. They do have a road closure and beach closure for tonight and tomorrow morning. And it was also announced that Booster 16 will not be caught on this flight, but will do another Gulf of Mexico splashdown. And that's about all of the Starbase news, other than we are watching for preparations because they might still pull off a launch before the end of this month. Next news item, the Star Sailor rocket is poised to make history as the first Canadian-made rocket to more than 25 years to reach space. Scheduled to launch between, August 8th and 22nd from a trampoline in northern Quebec. The mission is a collaboration between Space Concordia's rocket division and the local Cree community. In China news, space news, Jeff Rouse reports China has completed an integrated landing and ascent test of its lunar lander on a tethered launch, making a major milestone as it prepares for a crewed moon landing program. First integrated landing and ascent test of the LANU, meaning embracing the moon, crewed lunar lander took place at Hulai County in Hebei province in northern China. Typically landing on the moon and subsequent takeoff. China's human space agency announced on August 7th, and they did release video and still footage of that test. The test validated LANU's landing and takeoff systems, control systems, lunar contact, shutdown procedures, and compatibility of the interfaces between the systems, including guidance, navigation, and control for propulsion, according to CMSEO. The successful test marks progress in hardware testing for the crewed moon ambitions and a landing module is designed to transport two astronauts between lunar orbit and the moon's surface. The propulsion station will be used for descent before separating from LANU and undergoing a controlled test. LANU will then carry out the final stages of descent as well as ascent with crew module. China's efforts are taking place in the backdrops of NASA's own lunar crewed landing ambitions. The four-person Artemis 2 mission to fly around the moon and back is scheduled to launch no later than April 2026. The Artemis 3 moon landing mission is currently scheduled for mid-2027. That's it for tonight's rocket report. This is Dave, AS0AS, wishing you a good night and nominal flight. Thanks to Rocketman Ed for all the research completed, and now back to Starman, Ernest, KI0AR, net control.
All right, Dave. Thanks for doing the rocket report tonight. Yeah, a little long one, but yeah, definitely wanted to do the tribute to Jim Lovell there. From another Navy vet to yeah, fair winds and following seas to Jim Lovell. There you go. This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Let's see. Yeah, Ed texted me, checked in, so we got him. Ed, you're out there monitoring, so thanks for checking in tonight. Steve, over on YouTube, over there listening as well. KM6BAY, thanks for checking in tonight. So we got you both on the list. I'll go ahead and pause here before we go down the list. Anyone else wishing to check in to tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice. Okay, just saw Daniel pop up, W3HDB over on NetLogger. Daniel, hopefully you're listening in. I think that is a new call on the list. So welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. That is new. So Daniel, welcome. Hopefully you're listening in. And I got you checked into the Colorado Astronomy Net. My name is Bernice. That's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra, and the call sign Kilowatt India Zero Alpha Romeo. You've caught the last half of the Colorado Astronomy Net. To appreciate the check-in from Maryland there. Always like to touch base with my first-time check-ins. Find out a little bit more about your background and interest in astronomy, whether you're just starting out, you've been doing it for decades, or somewhere in between. Daniel, welcome to the net. W3HDB, tell us a little bit about your background and interest in astronomy. Go ahead.
W3HDB. Yeah, I didn't know I was checking into the net. I didn't even know what I was checking into. I'm just playing around on Echo Link. I was kind of half listening. But about all I've done as far as astronomy is I used to have a telescope, and I would look at the moon with it, but unfortunately that's kind of where it ended. I have been listening to a podcast about the moon landing. But yeah, so back to you, W3HDB, Dan in Bethesda, Maryland.
All right, Dan. Yeah, I just saw you popped up on NetLogger. I do watch that, and I take check-ins via there. Saw you there, and I figured I'd just give you a shout out and say, hey, again, my name is Bernice. That's B-U-R, Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra, and the call sign Kilowatt India Zero Alpha Romeo. Been doing the net for almost 30 years, so been having fun here. Moved over to the Skyhub Link system of repeaters several years ago, coming up on almost 3 years ago, and it's worldwide. We just had a friend from Scotland check in earlier, but it's way past his bedtime over there. But you can definitely check us out, the skyhublink.com. And if you just Google my call sign, I got a newsletter, things like that. Also over on YouTube as well. So running that, you can find out more information about the net and how to check in either through Echolink or however you want to check in, that's for sure. So again, welcome to the net. Looks like I got a couple of other new people over there that are hopefully listening in and will come back to me tonight. I'm going to check them in as well. We got Sean, KA3UFV out there. Oh, yeah. Sean, you checked in before, so thanks for that. And we got Gordon up in Canada. Let's see if you are a new call, so welcome to the net. VE6JX, good evening to you, Gordon. Welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Hopefully you've been listening in over there on Echolink for a bit, or however you're checking in tonight. Welcome to the net. Again, my name is Bernice. That's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra, call sign Kilowatt India Zero Alpha Romeo. Gordon, always like to touch base with my new check-ins, find out a little bit about your interest, background in astronomy, and officially welcome you to the Colorado Astronomy Net. VE6JX, tell us a little bit about your interests. Go ahead. All right, nothing heard. Let's see. Welcome to the net. Let's see, Sean. Okay. Uh, all right. Yeah, Daniel, you may want to check out Sean's post to you there in the AIM window over on NetLogger. Sean, who is now in Colorado, just saw your number 3 pop up and probably wants to say hey. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start down the list. Now's the time for everyone else to contribute to the net. Questions, comments, observation reports, anything you'd like to pass along to the net. Now's the time to do it. First on the list tonight is Roy up in Oregon, KI7PKL. Good evening to you, Roy. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Well, encouraging everybody out of that. And hey, we're having clear skies this week, but the moon is full. So and it's been really, really hot here. It gets up to about 100 degrees. I don't even like leaving my dog outside. Yeah. So anyway, I was debating whether to set the telescope up tonight just to do some tinkering around with my old telescope, because I'm thinking of doing some planetary imaging here pretty soon. But I don't know. There's a fair amount of smoke too. So anyhow, I'm looking at the focus one that was a new telescope, a little 80mm refractor I bought a few weeks ago. And yeah, just looking at how to install it. The biggest challenge is figuring out how to get the knob off of the focus. And sometimes I'm pretty stupid. I finally figured out what the people online were talking about. Figuring out how to get the knob off. Okay, maybe we'll order this thing and see if we can have an auto focus here very shortly for the next lunar cycle. So anyway, that's about all I know. Oh, looking at some ideas for what the image next to M31 definitely on the list. And I'm not sure if I have all the stuff to do, but I think I have a way through Cyril to stitch together a mosaic. So I might be trying a small 2-panel mosaic of the Veil Nebula. That's a possibility anyway. Oh, that'd be very cool if that works out. All right, my friend, thanks for taking my second. Great net as always. Back to you. This is KI7. Okay?
All right, Roy, appreciate that. Let's see. Yeah, looking forward to some of your planetary images and what you have. Yeah, I do like to share your images over on the newsletter, and I do appreciate you allowing me to do that. So looking for some new stuff from you, that's for sure. All right, Roy, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Dave up in Evergreen, AF0AS. Good evening to you, Dave. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Hi, I've pretty much given everything I've got for tonight during the rocket report. So no additional news. And with that, I'll send it back to you for the AF0AS clear.
All right, Dave, appreciate you doing the rocket report. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Rip out in West Virginia, K3XO. Good evening to you, Rip. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. All right, next on the list is Michael KO5AOK over on YouTube. I'll kind of watch out to see if uh, you've got anything to post over there for now. But Michael, definitely appreciate you checking in tonight. Hopefully, we'll get you some comments over on YouTube there. Next on the list is Doug Alton Parker, KO. K0ATP. Good evening to you, Doug. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Listen to everyone on the net tonight. It's hard for me to stay up and check in late, but I always check in online and I always check in on YouTube. But tonight we're in our seasonal cabin in West Tennessee, near Parsons, Tennessee. It's on Kentucky Lake. And I just wanted to let you know that it was great day to spend with you and the Rocket Man on April 8th last year in 2024 at the Trail of Deer State Park near Poplar Bluff, Missouri. We spent a day. I was up on the hill. We were down by the lake and doing all kinds of fun space stuff. But I've been doing amateur astronomy for a while. I still have my 8-inch Schmidt Cassegrain reflector. It's a Celestron. I would say my bucket list right now, I would like to have an equatorial mount and a bigger piece of glass so I could look deeper in space. But I'd also like to be able to get more into astronomical photography. I'll let it drop. A close personal friend that helped us with some speech pathology work. His name is Dr. Daryl Dodge. I've known him for a number of years, haven't spoken to him lately, but he's very active in the Hitler Astronomical Society. Lots of astronomy, but big into digital photography, and that's going to be my next step. So there's hope for the the unwashed. I consider myself one of them, but anything astronomical, anything astronomy is totally awesome. So anyway, I'll pass it back to Net Control. Thank you very much for everyone checking in on the net tonight. This is K0ATP Portable.
All right, Doug, appreciate that. Yeah, definitely was fun doing the eyeball last year during the solar eclipse there, meeting so close, so far away from Colorado and so close over there. That was kind of neat, that was for sure. Doug, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Yeah, definitely check out Roy's astrophotography as well if you're interested. Definitely, he'll be happy to answer questions, I'm sure. All right, Doug, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is David, WE8M. Good evening to David out in Ohio. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead.
And immediately got hit by the new telescope curse for the first few days. By the time the sky cleared up, the moon was full. What luck. Despite that, under my portal 4 skies where I live, I got some really nice images of M13, M27, the Dumbbell Nebula, and the Bubble Nebula. So far, I'm really impressed with that machine. It's creating some a lot better images than I could ever do on my own. So anyway, I'm impressed with it. On another front, I just got a scope buggy for my CGM mount and 10-inch f 4.7 Newtonian, and oh man, I tell you what, that either I'm getting a lot older or that thing is gaining about 20 or 30 pounds on me. It was all I could do to get that up, all set up on the scope value. But now that it's there, I'm going to strap it down real good. I'm keeping it in the barn under telegizmo's cover, and I'll finally be able to use that rig again. So anyway, that's where we're at. KI0AR in the net. This is WEAM in Highland County, Ohio.
All right, David, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Glad you're getting some good imaging as well and having fun with the new scope and what have you. So I do appreciate it. Do appreciate all that. You're sharing that with us tonight. So appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is John out in Ohio. W2JLS. Good evening to you, John. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Hey, good evening, Curtis. Good evening on your ears to you, the local listeners out there on the Colorado Astronomy Net. Let's see, I was just going to mention, I said today was a beautiful day in Northeast Ohio driving to work. Had a look at the day moon. I love that. Like, it was really clear skies, and it's hard to say prominent, but it's subtly, kind of hanging there in the air, and it's just lovely in the sky. I love it. I love a day moon on a nice sunny morning here in the summer in Ohio. Also, I'd mentioned I was just looking at why today would be a curious day from the standpoint of astronomical history. Today, 148 years ago, astronomer Asa Hall, working at the U.S. Naval Observatory in Washington, D.C., he discovered for the first time the Martian moon, the smaller of the two, Deimos, was discovered 148 years ago, so it would have been 1877. 2 years later, he received the Royal Astronomical Society's gold medal, and the same year Einstein was born was 1879. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Thought I'd share that. The day in our history today, 140 years ago. Anyway, I don't have much else. Just you're working on the computer, taking care of some academic stuff, and Pat, thanks for having me, and hope everyone has a great rest of the week. W2JLS, back to you, Bruce.
All right, John, appreciate you sharing that with us. Yeah, kind of interesting note there. And I did get your email. I need to respond to that. I'll send that back to you, and I'll get with you a little bit later on in about October time frame. What we're going to do for that, but I'll keep in touch and appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight, there, John. Let's see, Graham, MM1DEA, checked in and out. He left send a note over on YouTube, so that's kind of handy to have YouTube there. Jack, I got you checked in, KE0VH. Out there listening too as well. Next on the list is Christopher, W0MOS. Good evening to you, Christopher, again. Welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Whew. Next on the list is Andrew out in Ouray, KF0UFO. Good evening to you, Andrew. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Hi, good evening, Curtis. Hopefully my audio is coming in okay. I'm mobile at the moment. But yeah, I'm up in Uray, Colorado, on the western slope, southwestern Colorado. It's a little town next in the mountains, so the mountains come up pretty high above the horizon. But it's very, very clear sky up here, and uh, just in the last few nights, I've had an excellent few sightings with the Christmas meteor shower. It seems like between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., most of the shooting stars were coming north to south. But I had three shooting stars just happen just right after the other the night before last. It was pretty amazing stuff. Different colors and everything. But hope you're doing well, Bernice. And that's all I got for the land. Hope everyone's doing well. And I'll pass it back over to you. KFC Radio, I'll be clear.
All right, Andrew, do appreciate the observational report. Yeah, definitely get out there under the dark skies and check that out. You'll definitely see the brighter ones for sure, even if you have to contend with the moon a little bit during that time of night. But hopefully everybody else is listening in as well, anywhere from 10 until 2 if you can stay up that late, and earlier in the morning as well, and look for the moon is a little bit higher up then. But yeah, it will affect your viewing of seeing the dimmer ones. But definitely get out there and check out the Perseid meteors. The best, now is the best time, but still, next several days, about another week or so, you'll still see some of them streaking through the skies if you're lucky. So get out there and enjoy the skies. Andrew, appreciate the observational report. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Phil down in Texas. K5RUN. Good evening to you, Phil. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Well, thanks for checking me in, Berners. Appreciate you running the net. My first time on the net last week, you suggested I look for star parties locally, and it just so happened that right here in Frisco, Texas, there was a star party this last Saturday night. So I went to that, had a good time. There were no planets up at that time, but there was that full moon on the night, which I was pretty excited about. There's a full moon that I learned when I got there. That was not ideal conditions, but did get to see a couple of craters on the moon and saw some it was interesting and it piqued my interest, and so I do plan to go back again. I guess each month, they do it once a month, and I guess each time the sky is going to be something different, so I look forward to what I'll see the next time. So that's about it from Texas. Back to Net Control. This is K5RUN.
All right, Phil. Glad you got to find a find a star party out there just at the right time. So great to hear you got out there and had a good time. And yeah, full moon, yeah, is not the optimum time to do any deep sky observing, deep sky objects, looking at the nebulas and the clusters and galaxies and things like that, because the moon does a very good job of washing a lot of that stuff out. And then looking at the full moon itself. I'm glad you got to see the craters and mountains on the moon. Hopefully you'll get to take a look at the moon when it isn't so full, usually either during the first quarter or last quarter and look for the you actually got a more a 3D view of the moon when you're looking at it, either the first part of the phases there, or the last part, the first week or the last week of the 1 month of phases of the moon. You get some depth when you're looking through a scope, as opposed to looking at the full moon where it kind of looks kind of flat. But a telescope will pull that out for sure. And I'm glad you did get to take a look through some scopes and see what it's all about and enjoy the night sky and whatever else that you took a look at. You can still see some stuff. Yeah, the planets are rolling around. They'll move up there. You should be able to see maybe Neptune and Saturn next month. They'll still be pretty close together as well, so a little earlier, about 2 hours earlier from now. So I look forward to that. Not that many people get to see Neptune. It's one of the dimmer ones, and hopefully it won't be too washed out by the moon. So you have that to look forward to, and then see, of course, Saturn. Saturn's rings are a little tough to see. They're come almost edge on now, but definitely got a lot to look forward to there, Phil, on your star parties, and then go from there. So appreciate your comments. Appreciate you sharing that with us. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Brian out in Fairplay, K6SKI. Good evening to you, Brian. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Brian, I haven't heard from you for quite some time. K6SKI. Good evening to you, Brian. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Hey, good evening, Vernon, Jack, and everybody else out on the net today. I just grabbed my HF mic instead of the UHF HF. But yeah, it's good to get back. A great few weeks. For the last couple weeks, I've had a few nice nights. I got out and did some deep space, first time in a long time. And I got the Lagoon Nebula. I did a wide field with the Lagoon and the Bow and Arrow Nebula together. And then I also did the Trifid Nebula. So that was cool. And I got the Sturgeon Moon. And I also did some solar the other day. And those images are up on my QRZ page under K6SKI if anybody's interested in seeing those. But yeah, it's been a long time since I've gotten to do anything, and it's been a while since I checked in. Typically, I have to be up first thing in the morning tomorrow to do net control on VHF weather next. So it's cool to be able to chime in and check in every once in a while. But yeah, thanks so much, Bernice. I appreciate you being here for the and doing the net. And I'll toss it back to you, 673 to everyone. And this is K6SKI, and it's back over to KI0AR.
All right, Brian. Let's see. Yeah, I did check out your solar images plus your camera setup. Quite the setup you have there for solar observing. Definitely neat that you can take those images like that. That's for sure. See, there's a few more on there. Yeah, definitely fascinating. And that goes for everybody that's out there listening. Check out Brian's QRZ webpage, and he's got some marvelous images of the sun with prominences in the H alpha range, both black and white and color there, and quite detailed images that he's taken of our solar neighbor. Again, K6SKI on QRZ. Definitely check out those images for sure. Let's see. I don't know if I can I do that? Let me see. I'll have to worry about figuring that out. All right, still learning some of this YouTube magic and getting that up there. I'll have to figure out how to do that. But yeah, get out there and check out his images of the sun. Hopefully, I look forward to seeing more images there, Brian. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. And Brian just posted his link in the NetLogger as well. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Roy out in Littleton, KI0ER. Good evening to you, Roy. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Hey, good evening, Burns. Good to hear your voice. It's been a while since I checked in. Hopefully I'm coming through okay. I am mobile. Just drove up over Kenosha Pass and just went through Fairplay, actually. Going to the campground of the Rockies. I was hoping to see the first meteor shower tonight for tomorrow morning. And some raindrops are hitting my windshield, and it's cloudy. So I'm hoping the clouds move out sometime tonight. Might just set an alarm for like 2 a.m. or something on them. That's to see when they're going to clear. Hopefully they'll clear out. But other than that, good hearing you, and friends are participating in the net. And I don't have anything else for the net, so back to net control, KI0AR, KI0ER. And actually coming up into Hartsville, Colorado at this moment.
All right, Roy, thanks for that. Yeah, so I was going to suggest that you get up around 2 a.m. You'd be surprised, hopefully pleasantly surprised, what little rain. I've been there, done that on many occasions. It's been raining in the evenings for the Perseid meteor showers, then got up around 2, 3 a.m. and looked out there and saw clear skies and got to enjoy some of the meteors very late at night or early in the morning for sure. And it's actually the best time to see meteors is on the front windshield of the Earth. That's when the Earth is pointing basically directly into the stream of the meteors, and that's when the best time you're going to see most meteor showers. The best time is early in the morning between midnight and sunrise. So Roy, yeah, get out there. We'll keep your fingers crossed that it'll clear up for you, and enjoy the evening for sure. And hopefully we'll hear some observation reports from you next week on the Perseids there. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in there. Drive safe. Next on the list is Dennis out in Akron. He's over on YouTube, KC0CJV. Dennis, appreciate you checking in over on YouTube there, listening in. If you have any questions or comments, just post them over on YouTube and I'll get right back to you. I'm just kind of keeping an eye out for what's going on over there as well. So appreciate you checking in via YouTube. Hopefully we'll see some comments in a minute. Let's see, next on the list is Ed out there monitoring. He's working tonight. So Ed, appreciate you providing the rocket report for us. That's W6RDZ. Providing the rocket report for us, for you guys, actually, for everybody there as well. So Ed, appreciate that. Next on the list, Steve up in Fort Collins. He's also on YouTube. You betcha, just listening to learn. There we go. There we go. That's what I like to hear. All right. That's from Dennis out there. So I do appreciate that. Steve also. Yeah, KM6VAY out there over listening on YouTube. Can you check in tonight over here, Steve, or are you just listening over on YouTube? Go ahead. Okay, next on the list is down out in Bethesda, Maryland, W3HDB. Dan, again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Do appreciate you checking in tonight. Let's see, well, you're offline. I don't know if you're still on the air here. Dan, welcome. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. All right, next on the line, next on the list is Sean in Arvada, KA3UFV. Good evening to you, Sean. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Gordon up in Alberta, VE6JX. Good evening to you, Gordon. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. All right, next, Jack, KE0VH, over on YouTube tonight. No radio where you are, so I got that. Jack, if you're still listening, will you be doing your flight sim tomorrow night? If so, you can let me know over there on YouTube there. Jack usually runs his flight sims on Mondays and Wednesdays from 6:30 until landing. So Captain Jack Flight Sim over on YouTube on Mondays and Wednesdays. And I'll find out from Jack in a minute if he'll be doing his flights tomorrow. He's been busy all summer. So we'll find out. All right, Jack, appreciate you checking in via YouTube tonight. All right. We are at the bottom of the list. Let's see, who else? I had someone else out there. Steve over on YouTube as well. Where are you at? Yeah, no call with that, Steve. Hopefully you're still listening in. And just if anybody over on YouTube has any questions, please go ahead and post them or comments. I'll keep an eye on YouTube and see what pops up over there. So anybody with questions or comments over on YouTube, go ahead. But right now, I will call to see if there are any more check-ins. Or actually, I'm just going to make it anybody else. We're at the bottom of the list and nearly at the top of the hour, so I'll go ahead and open up the net for any questions, comments, late check-ins before I go ahead and wrap up the net for this evening. Anybody else? Questions, comments, late check-ins. If you are a late check-in, please call with your call sign phonetically twice. So questions, comments, late check-ins, please call KI0AR now.
KD0TUJ, and they do have some traffic.
Okay, good evening to you, Chris. KD0DUJ, thanks for checking in tonight. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead.
Just to give you guys a heads up, the National Weather Service has issued a fire. Yeah, excuse my speaking like it was an accident. But anyway, there's a fire weather watch going to be in effect from Thursday morning to Thursday evening. Parts of the Denver metro area are included, but it's mainly like the higher elevations like Jefferson County, Douglas County above 9,000 feet, Gilpin and Clear Creek counties below 6,000 feet.
All right, Chris, I think we caught some of that. You were a little bit broken. So let's see. Fire warnings Thursday. Is that correct? I think you were going to say there was something else at the beginning. You got cut off. If you want to try again, give us the whole spiel. I'd appreciate it. KD0DUJ. This is KI0AR. Go ahead.
Just to give a heads up that the fire weather watch is not a red flag warning. But just if anybody's going to be shooting off like this rocket kits, just be aware that those could actually spark the fire because of the sparks in the engine. So that's why they're issuing watches on that now, because it's also going to be high winds and low humidity. KD0TUJ back then.
All right, Chris, I appreciate that. Yeah, we don't want any firestorms like we had several years ago. That's for sure. Appreciate you passing that warning along. Appreciate your comment. Appreciate you. I'll take the check-in. We got you checked in tonight, but appreciate that. All right. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the net for this evening. Let's see, including the people over on that at least commented over on YouTube. 22 check-ins, so I do appreciate that. Hopefully we'll hear from everybody next Tuesday night for another session of the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'd like to thank the Rocky Mountain Radio League for the use of their repeater systems. Also like to thank the Skyhub Link group for the use of their systems as well. More information on Skyhub at skyhublink.com. That's skyhublink.com, all one word there. Find out more about the systems and what have you. Do appreciate that use for sure, so we can check in all over the world. With that, I will say 73 and keep looking up. This is KI0AR. I'm clear. Hey Ed, go ahead. W6RDZ is KI0AR.
Delivering any rocket reports. I was on call, so appreciate so much that Dave just used. Thank you to Dave for taking that rocket report and running with it. I love the additions he made. He made it his own. That's fantastic. So just like that, and I also enjoyed what I was able to catch your article on Eros and looking for stars. That was good. That's all I have for you. W6RDZ, back to you and Michigan.
All right, Ed, thanks for that. Hopefully everybody, I hadn't shut it down, so still got everything going. So hopefully everybody that's still on got to hear you there. All right. With that, I'll say 73 to all again. This is KI0AR. I'm clear.